Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeannette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
where exposure brings strength. Welcome to episode 67. Do you remember the 21st night of September? I'm so sorry. But you know
Well,
what?
we still have a podcast to remember.
We've been
So-
gone forever.
We have them, for everybody who knows us knows how much we love this song by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember? I mean, that is our jam, girl. And
It is.
and I hope that it's very fitting because it's the 21st of September. And, we were on a bit of a hiatus for the summer. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back on the mic. It's good to be back with you, my friend. So tell me, fill me in. What's going on? What's doing?
Oh, what is not doing? Well,
I
I mean,
know.
I feel like I've been in hiding for a while, which is awesome. It's good to take, a time out, that pause.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like I've been doing for a while, which is good.
Mhm.
I had a couple of people that I haven't seen in 20 years that I saw the other day, and they were like, "What are you doing? You're here?" I'm like, "I've been here for a few months. I'm just in hiding. I feel like I'm in hiding.
Wow.
I'd rather be in my shell." So that's what's been
Yeah.
going. There's other things going on. Life goes on, and there's things that have to
So
happen, but
where is here? You have took up a new residence,
I'm in New
right?
York. Yeah, I'm back in upstate New York. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm
Wow.
not giving my location out because I'm in hiding. I told you.
That's right. That's right. You're in hiding. You're somewhere in the upstate New York area. It's all good.
Somewhere. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This whole time with you today, I'm gonna just randomly sing out the "Do you remember?"
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't say, somewhere over the rainbow.
Right. I didn't sing a tune.
Yeah, because you're all about singing that tune. Well, it's good to be back. I'm glad to be back with you. And I'm happy for you to embark in your new life chapter, which means, um, moving to another state, back to, where you call home. And although we're not in the same state, it doesn't matter. We're only a drive away. And so I'm excited to see, good things unfold for you. I mean, that's what it's all about. We're entering a new season. Although today's September 21st, tomorrow officially is going to be the last day of summer. Because technically summer is till the 22nd. So I'm still holding on to, the last of the summer days, although I'm a fall girl. I love fall season.
I do too. The hoodie weather. I
Yes,
do too.
girl. Yes.
Yeah. Campfires and hoodies. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it too. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good time of year. So
So what about you? What's happening? What's going on?
well,
What's
I
new?
well, I think not much is new on my end. Summer was great. Went really fast. And it's coming to a close really soon, but I at least had a really wonderful family vacation towards the end of August. We actually, we went and flew up to Puerto Rico, and I'm very saddened of the state of affairs that Puerto Rico is facing now with Hurricane Fiona, as well as the Dominican Republic, and of course it's hitting the Turks and Caicos, and so that saddens my heart to see that 5 years ago today that Puerto Rico was hit really, really bad with Hurricane Maria, and still has been recovering from that hurricane, and now to kind of endure another one that has been pretty rough. So it hasn't been easy. It's tough to see that. I witnessed that on the news, but I'm glad that my family members and those that I know are safe. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, my summer, it was like it went through a blink of an eye, and I'm just holding on to what's left, at least until tomorrow. And then I'll officially be closing out my pool this weekend. I still have my pool open. So.
Well, there
Yes.
was still 80 degrees over the weekend. So
It
I,
was. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad your family's safe. I'm glad you got there safely. You had a good time. I saw the pictures. They are beautiful.
Yes. Thank
Your
you.
kids are so big. Jeez, oh man.
I
Um,
know. They're little
it's too
people,
fast. The
little men,
time,
young men.
time, man. The time just flies.
It does. It really does. And it just goes to show you that I find every year time speeds up for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of can't even believe that, summer's ending. And I feel like the minute we blink, it's going to be Thanksgiving before you know it.
Right,
And
right,
Christmas. That's just
right.
how
I
it goes,
know.
you
I
know?
know. Yeah, and I just actually said something about time today on social media.
Yes.
Um, that time is like, what did it say? It says time is I don't know. What,
I thought that was a great message.
well, a lot of it had to do with my dad.
Yep.
And a lot of it, I think, since my dad passed, right? And that was 68 months ago yesterday. Since that happened, that's all my mind, like that's all that's on my mind constantly is time. Like if
Hmm.
I'm, waking up unhappy for a while, you go through that waking up unhappy for for the time that I did for, before my divorce, I was just unhappy. And it wasn't like a
Yeah.
mean or angry or anything like that. I was just unhappy. And I feel like it's all I thought about for the last 68 months is time, 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 time. And like, how do I make myself happy in this time? Like, I don't have much of it left. Like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to, so you start thinking like there's not much left. And then all of a sudden you feel rushed, right?
Mm.
Like, once you start making changes, I think you start to feel rushed. You want to make sure you talk to all the people you've wanted to talk to, right? You tell everybody the way you feel. You don't leave anything out. You do it quick and you want everything to happen quick because
Yeah.
time could run out for you at any time, right? And so
Hmm.
I think that kind of, for me, that's all that's in my head all the time is
Mm-hmm.
time,
Yeah.
and not, you know, even though I want to sit on my couch on the weekends sometimes and do nothing, that's my time. And I like that time, right?
Hmm.
To be alone, to reflect, whatever it is, I want to be alone. And I have more time to myself
Yeah.
presently where I'm, living and how I'm running my life. So that helps me, helps at least my mental state, right? Um,
Hmm.
and if I want to spend my time by myself, then you know what I mean? Then that's, I guess,
Hmm.
my choice, right? Everybody does what they want to do with their time. But I think like to not talk to the people you want to talk to, not tell them, the things you want to tell them. My dad was very clear for those 68 months that he fought the good fight. And then for 68 months that he's been gone. And that's all I thought about was time. For those 68 months he was here, that's all he focused on was memories and time and what he could do with it.
Mm.
Because they only gave him a year and he lived for almost 6. So, it's just that time that you get,
Yeah.
no, it's just something that's in my head. It's all the time in my head. And I know people are like, you talk too fast, you move too fast, you're too hyper, your energy level is off the charts. And I think a lot of it has to do with the time, right? Like, I don't want to run out of it. I got to move forward. I got to go fast. I got to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I totally can relate to that. I feel that, I mean, for me, my perspective changed a lot, especially after COVID. You know, being a long hauler myself, I feel that time is just really precious. And it's really important to really make time for those people that are, that matter, right? And I think we're in this
yeah,
rat race in life. And if nothing else, and we talked about this in the past, we know that, COVID had taught us to slow down a little bit. And it was, I feel, a wake up call. I mean, I feel like I'm just starting to get back to life, to be honest. I mean, this is the first year that, I traveled,
mm-hmm,
boarding an airplane. I took a train recently, um, to
mm-hmm,
DC. But I mean, I wasn't doing any of that.
yeah,
And then, it just kind of feels like that already was long ago, but it really wasn't. But that's how
mm-hmm,
quick time passes. And we
yeah,
really want to enjoy every minute. And and be intentional about each
Right.
and every day and how we move in our day, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And I really loved, I loved what you shared today in social media. I think that your father, although I didn't know who he was, I only know your father through your stories and what you share. But he definitely was a man filled with a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
And I know that, he, a lot of what you bring to the table, I kind of feel like I do know your dad, because, it's like
Mm.
he's in you, like,
Yeah.
he's ingrained
Hmm.
in you, and you,
Yeah. The
you've
apple
really
did not,
taken,
the apple
yeah,
did not fall far from the tree for sure.
yes, I'm sure, your mom can attest to that,
Yep.
and your brother and other family members, I'm sure,
Mm.
can attest to that as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I really like what you said about boundaries. I think that that's so important,
Yeah.
is about protecting your time and boundaries. Like, I feel like this is
Hmm.
probably the first year that I started to implement that practice, because it wasn't a practice for me. I don't know, I kind of feel I was just moving along just to move along, and kind of felt like, when I look back on that, a lot of things are a blur to me, which is really weird. And so, reflecting, I love that you do reflect, and I've done a lot of reflections myself, and I've learned that this is a time to really be intentional about who you spend your time with, who you surround yourself with,
Hmm.
making sure that boundaries are not crossed, and really safeguarding yourself, because
Yeah.
things are not getting any easier. But if you surround yourself with people that matter and that, give you life, then,
Hmm.
everything just kind of, moves along in a way that, you can feel good about your days as
Yeah.
you embrace them. So,
Yeah. And sometimes I think too that with one aspect of your life, if you're not happy in one aspect of your life, right, everything else kind of pauses, or like everything else kind of stops. I think I think because you focus on that issue or problem or whatever it is, where you're unhappy, where you
yep.
can't, in that space, in that time, you're not happy. So when you're not happy in that space or time in one area of your life, right, then it kind of trickles in to everything
Oh,
else.
yeah, 100%.
So,
Yeah.
for me, I had to make a clear move in order for my time every day to not, you know what I mean? I needed to make sure it was healthy time. And so I had to make a move and a transition. But once I made that transition, like you said with COVID, it's, there's a
Yeah.
difference, right? COVID taught everybody to slow down. Yeah. Okay. It did. It taught everybody to slow down. But in the end, that's all I kept thinking about was speeding everything up, because I
Mm,
had to make, for me, I had to fix my problems with my time.
mm-hmm.
If I didn't, then how can I move on? How can I, you know, do what I wanted to do down the road if I didn't take care of the one situation that I had that needed to be fixed?
Mm-hmm.
So then everything trickles. And so if you let it, and that's the difference, if you let it, if you don't create those boundaries, right, and you don't protect your time and you don't protect your boundaries, then all that other shit trickles in to your space, and then it starts affecting every aspect,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? And so
100%.
that's why it's like, and I hate to even say like a cancer, but it is
Mm,
that negative things come in and they start creeping in like a cancer, and then it spreads throughout every aspect, your personal life, your work related life, where whatever you have going
yeah,
on, sometimes your
absolutely.
spiritual life, everything, your physical life, right? You don't want to do
Yeah.
anything, you don't want to move, you eat junk food constantly, you could give a shit about everything else, because all of that, because you have one little thing that you let trickle into your space,
Yeah.
right?
And I think it's important to have awareness. And really to give yourself grace. I mean, we all fall into whatever those ruts are, or those kind of patterns. But the important thing is,
Mm-hmm.
how do you get out of that? Yes, I'm in
Right.
a funk. Yes, life is happening. Yes, I had, a monkey wrench thrown at me, but how do I get over that? Because at the end of the day, the only way you're going to move forward is really how you handle those
Right.
situations when adversity strikes. And I have to tell you, like, and I guess it really depends on where your mindset is. I'm a big ambassador of mindset,
Yeah.
conditioning mindset. I mean, I can tell you, I haven't picked up a book in a long while, and let me tell you, I can tell I haven't picked up a book of self-help in a
Right.
while
Yeah.
because I'm reactive.
Yeah.
I'm like all over the place. My
Mm-hmm.
anxiety just goes through the roof. But I know
Yeah.
that when I was having those consistent practices, stuff just slid off my back.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Right.
okay, all right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. You made different choices, right? On how you react. You made
right.
different choices. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I think if anything, it's a gentle reminder that when we fall out of whatever practices, to try to identify what did help and get back to that, because we all kind of get through those phases. I call them those phases through life. So
Yeah.
but uh I know that we wanted to keep this first segment back. I feel like this is like our very first recording because it's been a minute since we've been back. But before we close out, I wanted to make sure that we celebrate a really amazing friend to us,
Yeah.
and who was our guest, and I know who has a relationship with you, Andrea. So I'm going to let you, kind of make that announcement, because we're always happy to
Yeah.
celebrate others. So I'll let you do that.
Yeah. I mean, we had Mike Harvey on our show in one of our episodes, and he gave his story. And today, and I am so proud of him, but today he launched his first episode of his podcast, and his podcast is called The Voice of Hope. And so today he launched his first episode ever. So congrats out to him. But also he picked this day specifically because he is 12 years sober today. So I am proud of him. Congratulations, Mike, if you're listening. And I think, he's someone to watch out for. He's someone that, he has a big heart. He has a huge story. There's a lot behind him. And I want everyone to be able to listen to his podcast and hear more about him. I don't want to give away a lot of, him, but if you go back to one of our episodes, you can hear his story with us. And then in the future, what he's going to be doing with the Voice of Hope, I think is awesome and amazing. So congrats to him today.
Yeah,
is his
definitely.
day.
Definitely. Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, Mike. We're really excited for you. And we can't wait what's going to materialize as he continues to move forward.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to have him come back again.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to get our guests to funnel back to us and join us and share, their truths. But I do want to say I'm thankful for you, girl. I'm glad that we were able to spend a little bit of time together today and start releasing our recordings. And I look forward to catching up with you next week. So remember, everyone,
Yes.
you're listening to Webb's Women,
where exposure brings strength.